You're married. You're in a relationship. But something is wrong. What is it? What's wrong? You're just not satisfied. You're not happy. Something is wrong. What is it? Well, if you ask me, after 42 years of sitting and listening to couples, individuals talk about their life issues, I think there is one issue that couples have that causes that what's wrong feeling. And the way I'm going to handle this is I'm going to go all the way back to the very beginning. Do you remember when you met her, you met him? Do you remember the very first time that you laid eyes on each other? You may not, because it might have been a lot of years, you know. But then again, you might remember her when you first saw her. Where was she? Football game, at school, at college, at a church, synagogue. You know, where were you when you first saw him? It's interesting when I listen to the stories that people tell about when they first met. You know, some of them were not interested at all, you know, and some of them were, but played hard to get. You know how that goes. But do you remember when you first met? I'll bet you that somewhere between that day, that moment, and the day that you got together, either in marriage or as partners, whatever, somewhere between that time you got interested in that guy. You got interested in that girl. You wanted to know her better. You wanted her to know you better. And you were so interested that maybe you began to pursue him. I'm using genders in back and forth. I don't want to be gender specific because I know that I'm talking to women and men. So you became interested in each other. And you could tell maybe that he was interested in you because he called you, you know, he texted you, he sent a smoke signal, a message in a bottle. You could tell the way he looked at you, you know, the way he talked to you, the questions that he asked you. You could tell this guy was interested in you. And you responded in the way you respond, you know. Maybe you played hard to get. Maybe you just were thrilled. Maybe you said, yeah, call me, here's my number, whatever. But that's the way you two got together, bottom line. You were interested in each other, and that interest led to questions about who you were, what you liked, what you didn't like, what your dreams were, what you were afraid of, made you so happy, what you like to eat, where you like to go, your mom, your dad, your whatever, you know. That interest gave birth to intimacy. When I say intimacy, I don't necessarily mean sex. I'm talking about intimacy in terms of feelings for each other. Maybe you started loving each other as a result of all of that. But that's how it started. That's how it started, with interest. And interest gave birth to the intimacy that you once had. But you know, as days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and months turned into years, and perhaps there were children, perhaps not. There were vocations, occupations, hobbies, you know, influences, I had a guy tell me one time that his wife had a baby and never came home. And what did he mean by that? Well, he meant that from the time that she had that first child, she was more interested in the child than she was him. She never came home. And so interest is that key ingredient in relationships. Now, remember that now. Your wife or your husband, they can tell if you're more interested in someone else or something else, whether it be golf or hunting or church or a civic club or a group or reading or TV or computer, whatever. We know when people are interested in us, and when they're interested in us, that gives us energy to keep on with them. But if we feel like that they're more interested in someone or something else, we get our feelings hurt. Sometimes we're passive aggressive. We tell them that we're disappointed or we're hurt in a lot of different ways. But we get our feelings hurt when we feel like that guy, that girl is more interested in something else or somebody else than they are in us. And so if you're wondering why you feel like something is wrong, I want you to ask yourself this question. Are we as interested in each other now as we ever were? You may say, no, we're not. And if you can say, no, we're not, you probably are in trouble. Probably in trouble. That probably is the primary principal reason you feel like there's something wrong. Because when they're more interested in something else or someone else, you feel neglected. You feel shunned. You feel hurt. And you don't like it at all. Investigate. Think about it. Think about how interested you are in her. And if you really communicate that to her, do you ever ask her a question? And I'm not talking about where were you today? How much did you spend? No, I'm talking about interested in her life. Interested in his life. What's going on with him? His feelings, his issues. What's happening with him? Are you interested? Are you interested? That's what got you together. Being interested. And I'll tell you, in my 42 years of experience, the lack of it is what kills it. And don't forget I said that.